Hey everybody, how you doing? Hope you're having a great day. This is actually Thanksgiving. What I'm fixing to tell you about actually happened yesterday, but I wanted to let myself cool down a little bit, sleep, and then I come back and tell you the story. So, trespassing, don't do it. I don't care what's happening. There might be a couple small scenarios where it's okay to trespass, and we're going to talk about that. But I've had dealings with trespassing in the past. Last place we lived at, people would take the gate off the hinges. Literally would take my gate off the hinges, throw my gate up in the woods, and then trespass. It happened 3, 4, 5, 6 times that I know of. Probably a lot more times that I didn't know of. And it's just a dangerous thing. Don't trespass on people's property. It boggles my mind that people don't know the landowner and would just go off on somebody's land. It might be different where you live or where I live. That's crazy talk. And there's plenty of people that will sick their dogs on you or send some lead in your direction for jumping a fence that says no trespassing. It might not be the way it is where you are, but that's the way that it is around me. Trespassing is just not cool. I know there's some states out west and up north where if it's not posted, you can hunt the land just like it's public land. That is not the case around here. If you don't know who owns it, you don't touch it. You don't go on it for any reason. So now that brings us to what happened to me yesterday afternoon. So I run cell phone trail cameras. I've told you guys about them before. I've got these Camo JoJo cell phone trail cameras that work really good. Instantly sends me a picture and a video. I have the dual mode set. Sometimes if it takes a picture or just a video, it might miss something. So I like having the dual mode on. I get a still image and then I get a video and audio of movement. You know, normally it's deer or raccoons or coyotes. But the whole reason that we have these places where we deer hunt is to catch the deers. And the whole goal, the whole idea is to make that a deer sanctuary. You guys that watch the show saw me in the spring and in the fall. I did tons of food plot work. I plowed, I disced, I raked, I seeded, and then I pulled the drag thingy. I forget the word for that. It starts with the C. Compactor, cultipacker. It rained, and then we weren't getting enough rain, so I even bought a water tank for the side-by-side, and I spent hours and hours and days watering all this stuff. We put all this work and time into it. And the whole idea is you let this stuff grow and you make that a safe haven for the deers. And then you only hunt at optimum times. The wind is good, the moon is good, the temperature is good. You do all the work I wash all my clothes in the scent-free stuff, spray it all down. I literally spend the entire year, 365 days a year, focusing on catching these deer and making it as optimum as a deer safe haven as I can. You guys that are deer nuts know what I'm talking about. Some of you guys are probably like, oh, that's baloney, you know. We don't do any of that. We just go out there and go to blasting. Well, that's cool too. If that's what you do, hey, I'm all about you hunting deers however you want to do it, okay? As long as it's legal. But me, I'm a deer junkie, and I pour so much time and so much money into this deer stuff. I just love it. I love seeing the deers go off. So yesterday, my camera goes off. Boom! Huh! And it's 2 women walking. Private land. Nobody's got permission to be out there. Period. except me and the landowner. 0 people have permission to be out there. 2 women. Well, actually, let me take a step back. First thing that kind of tipped me off, well, we won't get into that, but boom, 2 women walking right in my food plots. I'm thinking, I literally thought to myself, well, one of them's in, I'll show you the picture. One of them's wearing, I don't know, semi-dressy clothes, and the other one's wearing scrubs, like just came from a nursing job or something. I thought to myself, literally, they're probably looking for their dog. I'm not going to worry about it. Well, then here comes Bebop in a Jeep. A stock white Jeep, like from the 90s. And that's when I was like, oh no. 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 Keep in mind, this property, there's not a fence, but there's definitely a driveway. On the ditch, you know how you go down most country roads, there's a ditch. You're not driving in that ditch, but then there'll be a drive with gravel and normally a culvert. That's where you can get onto the property. Well, that is blocked, so vehicles can't get in there. This little buddy took a stock Jeep, like from the 90s, and drove it, jumped the ditch, and I know where he had to have jumped the ditch because of how he popped up on the different trail cameras. Drove up to the top of this land, all through my food plots, and that's when I said, nope, I gotta fly out there. So I told my wife, I changed my shirt, actually put this shirt on, and I went out there. And who do I meet first? It's this woman in the blue, what do you call those? Scrubs. I get about 20 feet from her, I'm talking to a lady, presumably a lady. And, hey, how you doing? Can I help you with something? And keep in mind, I'm inside 20 feet of this woman. Completely ignores me, pretends she doesn't hear me, and continues to just trespass and wander around. And I said, you looking for something? Assuming she's looking for a dog. At this point, I'm like 10 feet from this woman. That's like 2 arms lengths. Doesn't even look at me. Keeps on walking. And I'm thinking, well, I'm just going to go find little buddy with the Jeep. Because that's the main problem. I'm assuming they're looking for a dog. But then this guy tears through the food plots in his Jeep. You guys that watch the show know all the time I spent on these food plots, plowing up the dirt, planting the seeds, watering all this stuff. Keep in mind, it also had just rained the past 2 days, so it's real sloppy and mucky. And this guy's out here just making trenches in the food plots, right through the middle of them. I strategically have let weeds grow in tall stuff, so the paths are essentially the food plots, and that's where little homie's driving. Get up to the Jeep, he's not even in it. He's beyond the Jeep, top of the property, and then here he comes out the woods. And I said, hey, bud, if you're not from the South, if you call somebody bud, that's like a nice way of letting someone know that you're not real happy, but you're not going to be a jerk yet, calling them names or causing a ruckus like, hey, bud. That's kind of a thing like, I'm not real happy what's going on. Let's talk about it, but I'm not going to be too aggravated or angry yet. When he calls somebody bud, that's just what that means. Or buddy, same difference. I said, what are you doing up here? Hey, bud, what are you doing up here? Oh. And this guy, whatever. I said, this is private property down there at the road. That's why the gate is blocked and shut and closed and locked. What are you doing? Oh, well, these are these, and he pointed to the direction where these women were, and I got them on my camera, and I said, they're they lost their dog, and they said their dog was up here, and blah, 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 and they seen their dog up here, and I'm just trying to help them catch their dog. I said, okay, first of all, I got cameras all over this place. Haven't seen a single dog. If there was a dog anywhere near here, I would have seen it. I seen these ladies. I seen your Jeep. I seen you get out of your Jeep. No dog has been through here. I can guarantee that. I said, second of all, this is muddy, and you're up here tearing through all of these planted food plots, making all these ruts through here, that we spent a bunch of time on this land. Specifically, no vehicles are allowed, and you're sitting here tearing ruts up through these food plots. Oh, I said, y'all gotta get off of here. If I see a dog, I'll catch it. But no dog has been up here, I can guarantee that. And you got to get that Jeep off of this property. Private property. Nobody's got permission to be up here except for me and the landowner. And then he left. I'm sure they're nice enough about it. He wasn't too much of a jerk. But the fact remains, he came all through my food plots in his Jeep and tearing up ruts after all of the work we spent, hours and days. And so the moral of the story is, and it actually in Tennessee, you don't, if you take a deer and it jumps the fence onto the neighbor's land, even if you can see that deer, it is against the law to jump that fence and get the deer. I know a lot of other states that's not the case. You're allowed to go if you have proof of blood, and you can jump fences and do all that stuff. But not in Tennessee. The ladies, okay, you honestly think your dog is somewhere, we'll let that slide. But jumping through a ditch and making ruts through food plots with a vehicle on somebody's property that you don't know, say that I didn't even have food plots on this property, that's still crazy pants to go jump and haul around, drive around in a Jeep on somebody's property. That's just crazy pants. Maybe y'all do that where you're from, but where I'm from, we don't do that. That makes no sense. Just doesn't. And what makes it worse is the whole food plots being tore up thing. Now, if there wasn't any food plots and I wasn't hunting that space, whoopie-doo-dah, you know. But the fact remains, we spent so much time making these spots that we hunt a safe haven for the deer. And then little homies up there just, engine noise, exhaust smell, tearing up food plots that the deer could be eating. What makes it even worse is 20 minutes, we'll not go into that. There's too many people watching this video. I can't tell you all about all the other stuff that I see on my cameras. Maybe not until after deer season. Anyways, you guys are picking up what I'm laying down. All that being said, I'm rambling on a lot about do not trespass. Just don't do it. It's not cool. If you're not a deer hunter, then you probably don't understand. But I am a deer hunter, and I do understand. And I put a lot of work into this stuff. And then there's people scaring my deer and tearing up my food plots. All that being said, I don't think they ever found their dog. Because I saw that guy 2 hours later. They told me he was still driving up and down the street. Which I'm sure they were looking for some dog. But like I said, I never saw a dog on my trail cameras. And it would have if the dog was anywhere within several hundred yards of where they were. So anyways, I'm going to end the video there. Comment down below if you've had any troubles with trespassers. I always enjoy hearing your stories and your perspective. Now, there's some people out there that, forget about the fence, you know, I go where I want to, you know what I'm saying? Nah, can't be doing that. Used to be in days gone by, old timers, it was legal, even around here. You'd run your coon dogs and you raccoon hunt across everybody's land, and that was cool and expected. If old timer, 70, 80 years old was up here talking to me about that, whatever, dude, just don't drive in the food plots. Respect the old man. But even now, you can't do that anymore. You can't jump fences and all that. But, hey, appreciate y'all watching. There's tons of Black Friday deals going on. If you need something particular, let me know, and I'll help you find a deal on stuff. If you missed my video on optics, go check that video out. Awesome deals on optics right now. Appreciate y'all watching. Stay tuned for more. We'll see you guys on the next one. WHOTEEWHO!